All right, guys, we got 39 going out for $964. I also got a few on Poshmark. I believe it's just three, but let's get to discussing what we got going out. What's going on, everybody? My name is Marcus. Welcome back to another video. So today I got 39 orders going out on eBay, 3 on Poshmark. Just going to show you guys some of the stuff that I got going out today. Hopefully you guys had a great day of sales as well. Got some wholesale in. I just bought 3 boxes today. I've got another one that I'm waiting on the dimensions of the package to be able to send the buyer or the seller a label. And I got these other items right here as well. Just a bunch of Levi's, stuff like that. I do have some items here, guys. These are all Levi's, some Shackets. Then we got like some Madewell, more Levi's. Got some silver jeans. I got some BKE, some American Eagle, BKE right there. I got some more BKE. I got Polo vintage lambs wool. What is this? 511 tactical, Prana, Johnny O. A lot of people ask me, what type of stuff are you looking for in these boxes? And really, and I don't mean this in a rude way, but really, guys, it's common sense. Whatever you are looking for to sell is what I'm looking for to sell. If you're not going to put it in your store, I don't want to put it in my store. That's the type of stuff that I'm looking for. I'm looking for Prana. I'm looking for Lululemon. I'm looking for Levi's. I'm looking for Polo Ralph Lauren. I'm looking for all the good stuff, guys. Patagonia, Arc'teryx, anything good is what I want. And I'm not really trying to buy stuff that isn't good. I don't want Old Navy. I don't want the Limited. I don't want Gap. I don't want things like that. You know what I mean? Now, there are exceptions to the rule, but I'm not looking for a lot of fluff and filler. So this is why I extend the offer to you guys on the other side of the screen to sell me wholesale if you'd like to. Maybe you just don't like listing. Maybe you like to go sourcing. You don't want to do eBay listings. So you want your stuff to sell as soon as you buy it. So that's when you reach out to me and you sell it to me. So let me show you guys the numbers. We are up to 19,000 for the 90-day total. So climbing. When I started this whole experience, I was at 17,000 on the 90-day total. So we're making slow progress, but progress nonetheless. Okay, so here we are for the last 31 days, right? $19,119 for the 90-day total. We did 1766 in the last 7 days. Still trying to get that up to about 4,000. That would be perfect. Now, also on top of that, I'm still trying to count how many days I had that were $400 this month. So we had a 1, 2, 3 days that were $400 days this month, and a lot of 350s, which 350 is okay. I want the average day sales to be like 500 minimum. So we'll see how long that takes. I believe it'll probably take about 2 to 3 months before that's the norm. Because when I first started documenting the journey of me trying to regrow my store back to the, I guess you could say, the glory days, I was only at $150 a day on average. So we've already, pretty much doubled that because we're at 350 now, as an average for the daily sales. So let's see how long it's going to take to make 500, the normal daily sales amount. Before I get into these items, I want to go over some tips or advice that I have for anyone trying to get into reselling into the year of 2025. Getting started now, rather, at the end of 2024, going into 2025. And what do I think is necessary for someone to succeed? The first thing I'm going to recommend for anyone that's getting started out on this journey is to have patience. Patience above all else, right? Because even if you do list really great items, building a store from ground zero, like with 0 listings on the store, doesn't automatically pop off as well as you think it would. For example, I'm going to use James, or now he just goes by James Helferstay on YouTube. He was the Great Reseller Life, my Born Reseller Life. He has a 23-year-old eBay store, right? Where he had everything on it. And then he started a brand new store with just clothing and hats on it. Now the store is doing pretty great for the size of it, but it's 5,000 items that he was moving over with Ink Frog and Vendu and whatever the other software he was using. So he was able to flood the store quickly with 5,000 items, right? And even with that, his first few, I want to say his first few weeks on there were nothing spectacular, right? And this is a guy that's been in the game for 23 years. So even with him moving thousands of items over, I still don't think his store's doing, and this is no shade to James. This is just an analyzation from a vet in the game that has a lot of experience. So you guys can go based off what his store is doing. He's only doing like 150 a day. I think some days he had were higher than that, but that's just a vet that has thousands of items on hand. What about you, the person that has no items sitting around? You don't have a storage unit full of items that you could transfer over to a brand new store to get started with. The best thing you could do is just be patient. Buy the items, list the items correctly, because you're going to have a below standard when you first set up any eBay account, right? So you're going to have to get some sales under your belt before you can start to really get the traction. Once you become top rated seller, and your metrics look good, you got good feedback, you're going to start to see an increase in sales, but you got to be patient to start out with all that. So the first item is an Orvis sweater. This is a men's small, sold for $14.58. This is an Abercrombie and Fitch sweater, sold for $15. That's a men's large. That's vintage. This is a Champion t-shirt. I don't recommend picking up Champion t-shirts. It's a women's extra large and it's sold for $7.50. This I was going to pull down and put on Whatnot. It's just a vintage grandpa sweatshirt on a jerseys tag, made in USA, but I didn't. I kept it listed and it sold for $18.22 on a best offer that I accepted or either I sent out. That is a men's extra large. And then we got this Holden Beach sweatshirt in North Carolina. This sold for $8. It was listed for quite some time, so I just took the offer on it. And that's another piece of advice that I want to give you guys. If you're just getting started right now, like if this is your first day on eBay, the thing that you want to do, find your category that you're going to list in. It's about whatever you have the most of around you with the combination of what you enjoy to sell the most. So if you got a passion for something like sneakers and you know the game inside and out, you know all the item specifics, you know the names of all the sneakers, not just the name, but the street name for them. That might be something to consider getting into. If you are an electronics buff and you know everything, you know, that there is to know about VCRs or, you know, some type of electronic category like CDs and stuff like that, buy those things. If you know how to refurbish items even, and you can take scrap and turn it into treasure, then that might be something to get into. If you even would, and this is a little bit more difficult to scale on eBay, but if you like make, you know, your own t-shirts, your own sweatshirts and stuff like that, you can use that, pump a bunch of ads behind your product, and you should be able to sell that too on eBay. No problem. I see a lot of companies that make print on demand items on their eBay store, and it's just all funny, quirky stuff that has to do with current events or like, you know, holidays that are coming up. So like Christmas stuff selling right now, you can make Christmas t-shirts, you can make Christmas sweatshirts. Valentine's Day, when that comes around, you can sell Valentine's stuff. New Year's is getting ready to come around, you can sell New Year's stuff. That's another one to do that really you don't have to really buy the items. You just have your stock on hand and then you just print the vinyl that needs to go on the item when it sells. That's another business model, but like I said, those take a little bit more of ads and promotion and just getting your brand in front of someone to be able to see that you exist in the first place, versus someone like Levi's or Patagonia already has a brand built for themselves, so you're just riding the wave off their marketing budget. Another thing that I recommend doing is trying to find items that are in season. If you're selling clothing or if you're selling like collectibles, something like that, it's about to be, you know, Christmas. So those things are going to start selling really well too. So in 2025, it'll be too late for Christmas. So you're still going to have to be worried about seasonal stuff. Clothing is a lot more easier. You know, you buy cold weather stuff when it's cold. You buy hot weather stuff when it's hot. You just make sure it's good brands. Other categories such as hard goods, where it's like more of a necessity, that's what I'd be buying. If someone needs it to do everyday life, that's what I would be focusing on. Stuff like, you know, cleaning utensils or something to help with your kids' homework, things to help you, you know, go to work, stuff like that. And I know I'm being kind of vague, but I haven't sold hard goods in a really long time, and I wouldn't really have a solid example of something except for like kitchen appliances or like cleaning appliances, vacuums, you know, stuff like that. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head besides like TVs and video games and stuff like that, or game set consoles that would really be super like no brainer. Just because, like I said, I haven't sold anything in the hard good category in a while, but I know you can't go wrong with kitchen appliances and video game consoles. Sorry about the guy walking around up there. I don't know what he's doing. He's taking laps, I guess. This is an American Eagle sweater. Sold for $4. I wouldn't recommend picking those up. That is a men's large. Then we got a American Eagle thermal. Also wouldn't recommend picking these up. This is a men's large as well. They sold to two guys named David, but they're different guys. This one sold for $9.83. A thing I do recommend doing is buying like items, right? So what I mean by that is, like, if you sell Nike, pick up a bunch of Nike, right? If you sell graphic tees, pick up a bunch of graphic tees. This is going to T-Dog Treasures. He's bought from me before. He's got a 3-piece order, 2 t-shirts and a pair of Nike joggers. And he just reached out to me and he's like, hey man, I bought from you before. I really like your stuff. Can you hook it up with some combined shipping? So although he paid full price for all 3 of his items, I'm going to give him a discount when I combine his orders. There was problems with people being able to pay over the weekend. I know that I had at least 2 people contact me and said that they wanted to buy items and they couldn't buy them and they never bought them. So I don't know if that issue's fixed yet. Comment down below if you guys had any issues with that lately. This t-shirt sold for $14.40 plus shipping. Then we got the Guess jeans. These are women's 29. These sold for a best offer of $15. Then I got the St. Louis Scott Gallagher. It's a local soccer team. This is a boys hoodie, and it's sold for $5, and it's going back to St. Louis. That's the only reason why I took the offer on it, because I'm not going to be able to sell a boys hoodie quickly. It doesn't matter what brand it is. I don't have very great luck with selling kids stuff in my store. Maybe if that's the only type of stuff you sell, your store will do better with kids stuff than mine's does. Okay, so these are the other 2 items in my boy T-Dog's order. This shirt right here is this shirt is a St. Louis Cardinals 2XL tee, sold for $8.74. And then these Nike joggers sold for $17. So that's the multiple quantity order going out right there. This is a Billabong sweatshirt. This is a men's extra large, and it sold for $15. And then this is a Russell Athletic, just a SM South Raiders track hoodie. I don't know what team or what high school that's from, but this is a vintage 90s made in the USA. It is like in very bad condition. It's got like a V-neck cut into it. It's got stains and holes, and it's still sold for $50, I think. $55 is what this sold for. Now, there's something to be said about this, right? Because if you guys don't know, you'll probably just list this as, you know, a $20, $25 hoodie, or maybe just $10 because it was in bad condition. But the thing about this, guys, is I had this thing listed for $150, or I had this listed for $100, and somebody offered me $55 on it. They offered me 50% off on it. Now, the thing is I've had this item for a year now. I did have it priced pretty high because they go for that much money. Now, the thing about mine is, like I said, it's in bad condition. So I had it sitting for a while. Now, this guy that bought it sells vintage. So he knows what he's buying, and he's probably going to hold on to it for the whole $100 that he can make off of it. Me personally, it's a 50% off offer. Very, very rare that I'm like, okay, I'll take a 50% off offer, but I got it for like $2 from the bin. So that's another thing, though, when you're going to be considering what to do in 2025, is to start soaking up as much knowledge as you can. I used to be the guy that sold vintage Russell hoodies for $10, $15, till I started expanding my knowledge, and I found out that the vintage made in the USA ones go for really good money. The ones that are double knit to where it's not a fleece layer on the outside or on the inside, if it's 2 layers like this on the inside of a vintage Russell hoodie, you got money. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Double Face. If you find one of those, chef's kiss. A lot of money on your hands right there. And you just got to expand your knowledge. So start watching YouTube. Start watching people that are doing the numbers that you want to be doing. Start watching people that are in a position where you want to be at, and imitate what they do. If you do something and it doesn't work for you, stop doing it. If you do something and it works, do more of it. It's pretty simple, guys, honestly. Okay, guys, more items here. This is a vintage Wilson sweater, men's extra large, sold for $10.94. This is a vintage Elements, it's like the skateboard company, hooded flannel shirt that sold for $10.50. That's a men's large. We got some Levi's 502. These are men's 34.29. Those sold for a best offer of $12. We got a women's Ariat polo shirt with the big Ariat spell out. That sold for $13. That's a women's medium. And then we got these Prana shorts, brand new with tags. These sold for a full price of $40, and those are men's 34. If you guys watched the video, what, 2-3 weeks ago, I got a bunch of these Prana pants in from somebody, and they were all new with tags, and they've just been selling off consistently. These are Levi's 501s. These sold for a best offer that I accepted of $15. These were $31.30. So another thing, guys, and those of you that have been watching the last couple of weeks worth of videos are going to know the most important thing about how to grow your reselling business in 2025. And it's basically just picking up the best items that you can, quality over quantity. You can choose the quantity route and just be a volume seller, or you could choose great items that are going to sell for good money and put as many of those in your store as you can. Then you could still be a volume seller if you want to. If you got a pair of pants listed for $25, someone sends you a $15 offer and you want to move units quickly, you can do that. Or you could just hop on Whatnot and sell the stuff the same day you hold it up. You know, you could do either or. Me personally, I do a little bit of both, although I haven't done a Whatnot show in a couple of weeks now. I'm kind of doing the same method on eBay. I put the items up. If somebody's showing me interest in them, as long as it's not super disrespectfully low, I'll accept the offer, because it's better than me holding it up on Whatnot and making less money on it. Although it takes me a couple of extra days longer to sell the items than I would if I would hold it up on Whatnot. But quality over quantity, guys. Find the best items you can, as many of them as you can, and list them. No death pile. Okay, so for video length time, this is where I'm going to show you guys the last of the items, and then we're going to cut this off because I'm feeling like this video is probably going to be longer than it needs to be. So these are all items that I got in reseller boxes, and they all sold very, very quickly. This is a pair of Adidas joggers, men's 3XL. They sold for $20. I just listed those last week and they sold. This is a vintage polo Ralph Lauren sweater. It's got this tribal like Aztec type striping pattern on it. That sold for $25, and it has a hole on the sleeve. Then we have this Pittsburgh Steelers hoodie. This was listed maybe 2 or 3 days. That sold for a best offer of $20. Then we got this North Face jacket. This was listed for probably 2 days, and it sold for full price of $25. And then this is probably the best item of the whole day. This is a scent lock camouflage coveralls, men's large, with the Vertigo pattern on it, real tree pattern. This is just the coverall jumpsuit. I listed this for $70, and it sold for a best offer of $64. So yeah, very good sell. It sold in like 12 hours. Don't pass on. I've been talking about camouflage so much, guys. We should have camouflage all coming out of our ears right now. $70 sell, well, $64 sell in 12 hours is killer. And we got this Coogee hat, which is going to be the last item that I talk about. Got this embroidered handprint. You know, y'all know Coogee is known for like the flamboyant colors and stuff like that. When I say flamboyant, I just mean like all extras, like very bright, colorful stuff. That sold for $16, and it was only listed, I'm going to say 5 days, something like that. So like I said, guys, quality items. People are always looking for great stuff. If you can give them great stuff at an affordable price, you got a recipe for success. There's no way you can lose with that method. The only way to win is to do that and get as many of those types of items as possible. Just be consistent too. If you're going to be like a 1 day a week lister, you're not going to have great traction. eBay's not going to know that they could trust you with sending you a lot of traffic. Do the research, find good items, then pay attention to what your overview page says, your traffic tab. See if they're giving you listing impressions, and if they're going up the more that you list quality items. You'll be able to tell it once you start getting a feel for how things go. Your eBay analytics will tell you how you're doing. It'll tell you everything you need to know. So just dive into those, get to learn how those work, and you'll be able to have a great 2025. So if you guys got any questions that I didn't get to, or, stuff like that that you want to know, just put it in the comment section and I'll answer the questions for you in the next video. So that's going to do it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, let's make this cash, guys. Peace.